Hello, welcome to my channel. This is for a self-empowered community. My name is Jeanette. You can call me Jay. I am a certified life coach and an Akashic Records Reader. And today we are focused on what is the hidden message. So we have pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. I am going to be giving you a short meditation. Other than that, I just want to remind everyone that this is a general reading. All the messages are channeled. So sometimes I go off the beaten path. So I might go more into what is coming through from the records versus what is coming through just to the cards. So I hope that this speaks to you. I hope that if nothing is speaking to you, that you will walk away and just stay curious, that maybe there is, in time, whatever you're getting from this reading might come back up and it might give you more clarity. So thank you so much, and I will see you shortly. For pile 1, we are looking at what is the hidden message. And now these are all channeled messages. And so we're going to take a look at the first card here. We have harmony. Okay, and that is 9 of Discs, which is 9 of Pentacles. So what I'm getting with these two cards together is that there is an ending of a journey that you've been on. And maybe the outcome was expected to be some kind of gain, and what you're really gaining is a sense of harmony, a sense of, what I'm getting is that your eyes are open and you're seeing more clearly, and you're seeing how your life is harmonizing after this period of time has ended. And and with this card in reverse here, I'm saying that, like, it's not what you expected. It's bigger than that. It's greater than that. I'm going to actually pull out some oracle cards to get a little bit deeper here. What else is missing in this hidden message? pile 1. Okay. I'm going to get one more card here. So the first thing that's coming to me right now is just that maybe part of what this journey has done is it's also had you kind of explore a bit of the side of things that you don't enjoy, the things that are, you know, on that shadow perspective of your life. And maybe you're learning to find harmony in the shadow. All right. Okay. So I'm seeing a little bit more of the picture in the story that is going on here with my pile 1s. With my pile 1s, what I'm seeing is there is this need to find harmony. And so you might be in the process of ending something as well as noticing your life finding it's more harmonious now. So what I am noticing too with the compassion and shadow side, that there's still an opportunity here to allow more compassion for the side of yourself that you are maybe turning away from. Maybe it's the side that you're like, nope, not going to look at it. I'm not going to deal with it. Maybe there's something that you're noticing in you that you see in others that's really upsetting. And compassion is reminding us to allow ourselves to really find the compassion for ourselves first. You know, I talk about that a lot too in the work I do. It's very easy sometimes for us to be compassionate towards others and still be hard on ourselves and not have compassionate for the journey that we're on in life. We judge ourselves so harshly. And this right here is showing me that there is still some opportunity to bring compassion into the shadow side of our lives, the side that we are turning away from and that we're just maybe not so proud of. Let's see. I'm going to get another tarot card here. What else is hidden? What other messages do you have? Okay. We have movement. And on the bottom of the deck, dedication. Okay, so this might be where you're headed. Considering the journey that you've been on, the outcome is slightly different, but you're still finding it to be harmonious. You're finding some kind of harmony and balance in your life, and that's okay. Maybe you're not, your pockets aren't filling with money, but you're finding what is actually giving you peace and what's feeling right for your life, and the opportunity to keep embracing your shadow and having compassion. That's leading you to movement. Something's ahead, something's coming, something that's pulling you forward. And as well as what was on the bottom of the deck was dedication. So dedicating yourself to the work that is showing up here. dedicating yourself to having compassion for the sides of yourself that you're not a big fan of. And we all have them. And if you're anything like me, I was like, I'm not doing shadow work at all. I don't need to do that. And what I found was I really, really did need to do that. And it was actually helped me to, well, for my own self, it helped me to find compassion more for everyone in my life by recognizing that I too had a shadow side, that I too had a side that needed to be embraced and needed to be identified. And it was calling out to be seen because people were really bothering me. And I think that's what happens, right? When you see qualities in someone else that you're not a fan of, it feels crazy, but in a way, it's the things that you really turn away from in yourself. Like it's the things that you don't enjoy in yourself. So then you see it amplified in someone else and you're like, no, that person is so obnoxious. But in reality, if you look a little closer, if you get curious, maybe there is something to that. Maybe there's something that you're working really hard. Maybe that's your shadow side that you're working really hard to get through. And what I love about where we're landing on this pick a card reading for, this hidden message is just the fact that there is movement around this. It's not still. We're not staying in this place. All of these cards actually have a lot of movement with them. And that's really a message I'm picking up right now. And I just feel like all of this has got that energy of we're all doing this together. The shadow is working with the compassion, is working with the journey, changing. It's finding that harmony, that consistency, and it's all about the energy of movement. It's about the energy and the dedication that we're committed to. In my pile ones. My pile ones, here's my question for you. Like, what are you turning away from? What could you apply a little more dedication to and get some forward momentum to see how it might shape or change or evolve? Maybe this card here, it sticks out to me as it's not over, like something's shifting, and maybe your realization is shifting around what you thought something was going to be. And it's turning out to be something more, something a lot more. So I'm going to channel one more card here with the Oracle deck. And I'm just going to ask the teachers, masters, and loved ones, what's the final thought that you want to share with our pile ones today? It's the final message going forward from this reading. These cards do not fall out easily. I'm going to have to find a new way to shuffle them. Oh, okay. Okay. Too many fell out, and they did not speak to me on this pile one, so bear with me. Okay. Very interesting. So moving forward, there is an ask here. There is an ask for you to connect with your ancestors. Now, what does that look like? It could look like tapping into spirit in whatever means that means for you, whatever ways that means for you. So, if you're into reading your records, that's a great way to tap in. If you're connected in meditation, even just speaking out into the universe, sometimes you can get those responses, and just calling upon your ancestors for guidance in moving forward from this reading. So moving forward, momentum, dedication, embracing the different aspects that are on the page here. I should say on the table here, the shadow, and having compassion for your shadow side and finding the harmony in all these pieces. And the big way you're going to do this is through ascension. So I like to give people the option, if you have your own way to connect with your ancestors, maybe you have a way, go for it. But this card in particular came out with this one, which says to me that tapping into your higher self, raising that vibration, is going to help you receive those messages more clearly. It's going to help you keep the momentum and the dedication, because you're going to be channeling, connecting with your own guidance, and it's here for you to take. The ancestors popped out because there is a connection opportunity there for you if you're not already connecting with your ancestors. And be mindful when you see ascension. Ascension means so many different things to people, but it is about raising your vibration. At the bare minimum, it is about raising your vibration, and keeping in mind too, so I'll just speak into this for a second here. When we turn away from our shadow side, it feels intuitive. It feels like instinctually, like, okay, it's something I don't like about myself. I want to disregard it. But when we do that, what we're actually doing is keeping ourselves in a place of judgment. And that place of judgment is keeping us from ascending. It's keeping us from raising our vibration, because we're staying in a low vibrational place. So being able to raise your vibration, connect with the ascension, and the ways that you connect with ascension will allow you to connect with your ancestors, connect with more guidance moving forward. What other messages are connected to this pick a card reading is in your hands now. Okay, if there's more messages, it's in your hands. So the thing I'm getting to is that just the really strong reminder here that turning away from your shadow is actually going to set you back. It's actually going to hinder the movement and dedication that you're working towards. I do see how this is all connected. So, I'm going to leave it there. I'm excited for you all to connect with your ancestors and find ways to ascend and really find that compassion with your shadow side. Also finding that harmony in your life as you're going through some changes that are coming up. Okay, welcome, pile 2, to what is the hidden message. Opening the Akashic Records for this channeled message for pile 2, I noticed an energy of a loop, an endless loop. Almost like you are going through the same repetition constantly, and it's almost like you're not even realizing you're in this hamster wheel. And I'm just gonna sit with that for a moment. As far as this hidden message for pile 2, I really feel like there is something about that energy. It's just almost like you haven't been woken up yet. So with that, let's begin with the message. What's the hidden message here? So we're going to start with some tarot cards. Okay, so we have death and leadership in reverse. Okay, so the hidden message I'm getting from these two cards is that there's definitely something ending. Now, I know we all suspect that when we see the death card, what's that really mean? It's just a symbolic representation of something ending, and that we have this continuous cycle back to that loop. When something ends, something else is beginning. And when I see it coupled up with this leadership card in reverse, it makes me wonder, maybe what's happening is leadership, you're starting to step into your leadership. Maybe you're waking up from that hamster wheel, that cycle, and you're starting to, you're going to start to notice yourself in that repetition, and notice that there's an opportunity to literally pull yourself out. And I'm actually seeing this image of somebody stepping to the side of themselves. It's almost, okay, so what I'm getting here right now is, it's almost like, have you ever seen, I don't know, in movies or like sci-fi movies or something, when you see like somebody split apart, and it's almost like this version of them is still going, and this version is stepping away, and is getting this like perspective from, oh, like kind of turning and saying like, oh, is that what I'm doing? Is that what's happening here? I think this hidden message is saying that you're waking up. You're waking up and you're noticing there's different paths. There's two paths here. There's this path where you're just going through the motions of life and just continuing on. And there's this other path of recognizing and stopping and actually taking a pause, actually taking a notice to the way you've been. So let's also get some oracle cards here. Okay, this flipped over right away. Connecting to the heart. What else do we want to say about what's hidden and what's happening? What's with this loop? What are you waking up from? Okay. I always have to laugh a little bit when I've got the records open and something feels like a truth that just kind of pops through. Something feels like it's just resonating deeply in this reading. And what I'm seeing here is that here's the path forward, okay? The path forward is, so when I see this reflection card here, what comes up for me in relation to this reading and what's coming through is that that's exactly what I was just observing you do from the side. You're literally stopping and you're looking, hey, what's going on here? What have I been doing? What cycle have I been constantly continuing and keeping up with that's actually not serving me? And it's that piece of reflecting. And it's reflecting without connecting to your heart. You know, it breeds different results. So calling to connect to your heart. That heart space is going to wake you up. It's going to tell you, it's going to give you some really cool information. I honestly think it is. And, you know, I'm curious, how do you connect to your heart? Do you know how you connect to your heart? I think that the first thing that's coming through is that stopping, that noticing, that ending whatever it is, whatever kind of energy hasn't been serving you. And it's been in leading your life. That way of living has been at the forefront, and now you're taking a pause and you're reflecting and you're connecting with yourself. You're connecting with your heart center, and you're saying, and when you live from your heart center, you amplify your life. So what I'm getting is there's this hidden message of there's this moment of awakening, a moment of change that's really coming up. And maybe it hasn't come up yet for you. Maybe this is coming for you. Maybe it's you're in the process. Wherever you are in the journey, let's just get another tarot card here for the journey forward. What's the next step in this hidden message for this pile two? Strength. I'm honestly, I just feel like so happy because seeing this card, I'm just getting the reassurance that it's okay. Like whatever is changing here, as long as you're reflecting and you're connecting to that heart center, you know, those are interchangeable. As you connect to your heart, sometimes reflections come up. But as long as you're doing those things, you're gonna find strength. You're gonna be okay. You're getting stronger through this process. And I never know when I open records for clients what it's going to be like. What is it going to be like? Sometimes I feel an energy or see an image. Sometimes I don't. And with this pile, I felt that energy. I got caught in the loop myself. And, you know, I'm like, okay, what is this going to mean? Do I speak into it? And I'm glad I did, because I feel like what it's meaning and what it's showing me here is that it's going to be okay. And that is part of the process. You kind of have to go through, you kind of have to get to a point when you're in a repetition of your life, or in like a cycle of the way you are, or way you're being, I should say, where at some point it's going to give. And there might be a transition period that is uncomfortable, but it's a cycle. It's like you're cycling through a pattern that's not working, also knowing and trusting that when things end, new things come. So that loop can mean different things. It's about how you want to take it in and how you want to let it empower you. How do you want to use it so that you're stepping into your own personal power and you're not letting that, whatever it is it a job? Is it a relationship? Is it something that is holding you in a pattern? I've had a job before where that was it. You know, I couldn't really complain about the job. You know, I paid my bills. I had some good relationships with people. But it wasn't what I wanted to do. And the type of job it was very repetitive. And, you know, and I think it's true of relationships. I think it's true of other cycles, behavioral cycles, you know, cycles of, you know, examining relationships that you have with people in your life, relationships with money, relationships with your body, anything that is a cycle that isn't serving you. This reading here is asking you to take a moment to reflect on that. Pull yourself to the side. Take that side perspective on what your life could be. Under the deck was clarity. All of this. Wow. I'm like just, I don't know. I just feel an energy of relief. I'm really feeling excited and hopeful for pile 2, because you're going to get this clarity. when you're going through this process, you're going to get clearer, you're going to get stronger, but it takes getting rid of some stuff in your life that isn't serving you. It takes that reflection and connecting to that heart, and you will walk away with clarity and strength. So this is all I'm seeing for pile 2. I feel like we're ending on a pretty positive note. If you are in the middle of it, I'm sending you lots of love, because I get it. Takes a process, and it takes a lot of patience to allow yourself the space to be in change and to be in realizing and waking up to things in cycles that you may have not been seeing before. And I think when we wake up, it's an opportunity to change something. So, sending you lots of love, thinking about all the power that you have within you. I'm feeling from spirit and the universe that they are like, it's gonna be okay. You just got to remember to connect to your heart, because you're gonna find that strength and clarity when you're truly honoring that heart center. Okay, pile 3, welcome to your reading. Okay, so upon opening the records for this pile, I've got a few things that came through. There's this energy of kind of speeding up, and then this energy of like just soaking in and wanting to just kind of surrender and slow down. Those were the words that really clearly came through. Sensing with my pile 3s that there is this desire and need to just kind of soak in, go deep, and just find a way to surrender, find a way to just be still. Kind of like the feeling of like if you take a nice bubble bath, just nice warm water, just soaking yourself deep and really letting your life, letting your day, whatever it is that's weighing on you, that's causing you kind of a frenzy energy, to that to just melt away is really what's been coming through as I started opening the records for this pile. And for this message of what's the hidden message? So the hidden message is, first, we're starting with a little bit of the needing to surrender, the needing to just kind of let go and soak in. 3 cards popped out here, so let's go ahead and flip these over. All right, so we have control, King of Cups, Ten of Swords, despair, and fulfillment, the Nine of Cups. Okay, we got some cup energy going on here. So something that I'm getting is this, it's feeling right to me, being with the records open for this pile. I'm definitely sensing there is this, as I was opening the records, as I was speaking into already, there was this frenzy kind of energy, like this energy to kind of speed up. And I'm getting that same kind of feeling off of the control piece. Maybe there are some of you that have been, you know, needing this to be called out, needing to recognize that you're kind of in this energy of trying to control everything, and it's making you hyper is the word that's coming to me. Just a little bit more of a hyper energy, hyper vigilant, hyper uh focused in, but to the kind of, in a way that's like, it's not really helping you, it's not really serving you, it's really putting you in a situation where it's burning you out. And it kind of makes me wonder, maybe that's what is hitting here with this despair card. Um, maybe the control, okay, maybe what's coming through right now is maybe the control is part of hiding the despair, something that is bringing you down, something that you're trying to kind of get away from. And there's this energy of maybe that if you are in control, then you won't have to face the despair. That slowing down might mean that it's consuming. But what I want to share is, in this message to you, the message is saying that it's okay. You can actually slow down. And when you slow down, you're not going to feel this feeling of despair. You're going to feel like you're melting into yourself. You're melting into your life. You're melting into the bath. And you're just really exhaling, really taking those really long, deep inhales and exhales. And you're just like, there's a lot of that energy with this pile threes. And if this is not resonating with you, maybe this is something that is going to start to resonate with you as you start to take more notice to your life and the things that are going on. And I think that this is a perfect progression in that you're going to feel a sense of fulfillment in doing this. Now, when I do these pick a card readings, everyone would interpret this differently. Because I have the records open, I kind of lean into what I'm getting through the records and what's being channeled to me in conjunction with this. But I feel the fulfillment card came out with despair, and I think what is coming through here is that it's definitely a reassurance that everything's going to be okay, and that actually the slowing down, the recognizing this behavior isn't serving you, is actually going to lead you into a more fulfilling state. And that's what I get when I see that image of the person like soaking in the tub, just like really relaxing their whole body. It's relaxing, it's calming, but it's also fulfilling. It's serving and fulfilling you in this deeper way. When people talk about self-care, they often think about, doing stuff that is physically self-care, like taking a bath or something like that. And that feeds into our fulfillment, having that harmony with all the other things you need to do in your life, but also balancing it out with having those moments that are just for you, having those moments where you can really surrender. When I was opening the records, I noticed that there was a desire to stay there. My pile three is I'm sensing that you want to just stay in that meditative state. They're like, oh no, this feels good. Okay, let's stay in this place a little longer. And it's really interesting. Once it seems like with my pile threes that once you get that space to just slow down, that you really enjoy it, and it is really fulfilling to you. Okay, let's get some oracle cards for this reading. All right. So I had two cards pop out. We have patience and trust. And honestly, right away, it's interesting that these two came out. I feel like they should have kind of always come out at the same time, because you can't really have patience without trust. Um, patience is difficult. I'm a Taurus, and I feel like one of the common traits they say is that you're patient. And I said, I'm not patient. But patience is one of those things that I think can be misleading. People can define it differently. And I think that, patience is one of those things that a lot of people have to work at. And I think it really is reliant on trusting that you can be patient. I see how those two pieces go together. I'm also getting, as part of this hidden message, I'm also getting that like this is part of a little bit of your story right now. I'm just going to sit with that for a moment. Okay, so this may be true to some of my pile threes. So I want to speak into it, and that's the maybe part of some of this controlling energy and this nervous, kind of anxious, hyper vigilant energy um, is because there's a lack of being able to wait for something. Now, maybe something is coming or changing, or you're waiting for something to change or happen, and you're not soaking into the slowing down. You're kind of struggling maybe with the patience piece of it. So you're still not doing energy. You're very much in that doing energy. And this is a reminder to just lean into trusting. We need to just lean into this place of like trust the things you know, trust the things you know to be true. So for example, when I was opening the records and I was feeling that energy of rushing, speeding up, and then eventually the energy was shifting into slowing down and soaking in, and that the pile threes want to be there. They want to be in. So, like, trusting and knowing that, like, when you get into that place of slowing down, that it's going to be okay, that it's going to be, you're still going to get to where you're going, and you're still going to fulfill the things you need to fulfill. But it's just going to look different. And actually, you might feel better about how the outcomes. You might feel better because it might be more fulfilling because you've given yourself enough space and enough patience to be through to get through that period of time that in a way that serves you, in a way that is filling you up. I want to get another card in here. Is there anything else that's hidden that we want to bring to the surface for our pile threes? Okay, so maybe some boundaries are being crossed. Okay. Okay, actually, what I'm hearing is that boundaries is another form of how you're going to, um, how you're going to help yourself slow down and really um, start leaning into that self care, start leaning into giving yourself enough space. You're going to have to say no. You're going to have to put boundaries around your energy. That's going to help you feel a lot more fulfilled. That's going to help you just create more space to just be like in that in that serenity, in that surrendering. You're going to need to put boundaries. You're going to need to shut the bathroom door is what I'm trying to say. If we're going with that image, the door needs to be shut. You need to be able to be in a sanctuary place for yourself. That's going to help you feel better. It's going to give you it's like all of these things to me, like as I'm seeing them here, this energy in the oracle cards, it's an energy of space, it's an energy of surrendering, it's an energy of letting go, and really holding that space for yourself. You're not holding it for others, you're holding it for yourself because you need that. That's something that's going to serve you more. Okay, let's get another tarot card here. Let's see if there's anything further in this hidden message for my piles 3. Okay. Queen of Cups. So much cup energy. So much cup energy going on here. We're going to be using your intuition going forward. Part of this process as you make space. Okay, I'm getting two things from here. You're using your intuition to figure out how to create that surrendering and serenity for yourself, but you're also going to invite more intuition as you're in that space. So the more time and energy you direct towards making wider boundaries, I'm hearing. So it sounds like you have some kind of boundaries, but expanding those boundaries and literally giving yourself bigger space to occupy. You're inviting in a more opportunity to get in touch with your intuition. So I'm going to end on this note. I want to thank you all for joining me today for this pick a card reading for pile 3. I just thank you so much for being a part of my channel and watching this.